Welcome back. Move all this stuff out the way real quick. I have been doing readings all day, mini readings. Thinking about doing a special. We'll see if energetically I got it, because it is eclipse season. So stay tuned for that. If y'all are interested in mini readings, say it in the chat. Ooh. We're starting with the Queen of Pentacles, which for me is the Virgo card. Pull a card for each. Make sure y'all can see it. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Quality over quantity. Everybody don't deserve access to you and your resources. So if you have an issue on boundaries, this is the season for limiting the access to people. If you are the person that they call every time they need a resolution, I'm gonna need you to stop answering. Not permanently, but give it some time. People will figure some things out. Problems usually do not occur in a way where only one person can resolve it. Usually, you know what I'm saying? It's very rare. Very rare. So, in honor of the anniversary of Huracan Maria hitting Puerto Rico, we're using Secrets of Paradise Tarot, which it's Caribbean, but there's a lot of Puerto Rican imagery in there. And so Queen of Pentacles is about her money. It's about her net worth, her resources, self-value. A lot of times people undervalue the Virgo because it's easier to overlook things when the systems are working. We got another queen. When the systems are working, right? When everything is fine, when you have all the resources you need, it's easy to overlook the person who put them there or created that system. So, don't be the one who is overworked and underpaid like Ludacris said. Okay? Don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. There's also Toussaint Louverture's birthday. 265? Yeah. So shout out to a G. The originals. The original G's. 1800s. If you don't know who Toussaint Louverture is, he is part of how Haiti got free. He was a general. General, captain. Anyway, big fish. Okay, liberation vibes. Liberation work. Petet Bulekai type stuff. Ultimately, I believe he was captured and whatnot, but he really got some of the things, some of the moves, the movements going. I don't know who this Two of Fire is for, but expand your worldview, your perception. Alright, so we have the Queen of Machetes, which energy. Again, boundaries. Again, saying what you need, expressing yourself, but also saying no. Queens are petitioned. Saying no brings you the sun. Queens are petitioned for their time. They don't just give up their time. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Try to leave the guidebooks out. All right. So, overarching themes for the collective. Queen of Pentacles. Date valorar. Value yourself. You see how there's not 90 people behind the Queen of Pentacles? Yeah. Stop overextending yourself. Value yourself. Queen of Machetes ain't got no problem to say no. To say what it is. To speak up in a room. To say the thing that needs to be said in a room. Be that person. Don't let people tell you what's about to happen. You let people know what's about to happen. You don't know who it's for. You don't know who it is. Alright. So, card number 1 is this Mossagate penguin. Got a little druzy in there. It's a little shiny. A Mossagate penguin. A rose quartz anatomical heart. And a labradorite. Ooh, it's flashing on the side. Labradorite skull. It's a flashing on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Let us begin because I'm exhausted. Exhausted. I did readings today for a wellness day at the local holistic salt therapy room. And so if you're in South Florida, that is in North Miami, check it out. For your energetic resets, we have the 10 of water, the Chariot, we like it, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So let's talk about it. Sounds like growing pains. I was a little under the weather. So the owl is all-knowing, wise, but also a prey and predator in the night, based on just like how their wings are set, makes them soundless, and they can see real good with them big eyes, right? But it's also an all-knowing. You ever see an owl, it's like the owl got something to tell you, right? Mossagate is good for neutralizing energy, but it is also great for growth. This is a plant that you can put next to your plants to help them grow. So imagine what it can do for you. I'm obsessed. Oops, shit, rest in peace. I guess I'm keeping this one. Unless y'all want a chipped one. Yeah, oh well. The thing about Mossagate is that you can see the plants in there. You can see the herbs in there, right? Even the little foot is missing, but you can see the plants and the inclusions in there. And for me, it gives growth as an inner job. Oh man, that's the business of crystals, bro. I'll keep that one. And so we have a story here. I find it interesting that the Wheel of the Year, I like how it's called the Wheel of the Year. And so we're in the last quarter, right? Are we in the last quarter? October, November, December. Yep, we are. September. What has been going on this whole year is not what's about to go on moving forward. But you have to make that decision, right? Part of it being in the reverse is either feeling stuck or believing that this is all that there is because of insert issue here, right? Maybe things have been a certain way for a long time. Will you claim something new? Holistically, believing that it's possible, but also holding yourself energetically responsible for saying, this is the end. Of misery, of being broke, whatever it is, right? And the thing is that no matter where it like if it's reverse or not, abundance always goes into a winter. Winter comes back around, spring comes. Seasons change. Are you ready to do so with the season? We have the 10 of water, emotional fulfillment. Okay? Literally allowing yourself to be poured into. You need a cleansing ritual. If you can be by the ocean, be by the ocean. A salt water bath, or like throwing salt water on you and allowing yourself to be cleansed. All of that. So that if you have been depleted, you get poured into, but also pouring into yourself. Because when you were fulfilled, when you were emotionally well and stable, celebration, joy, success after a lot of hardship comes through. You gotta have the energy to celebrate. You gotta know who you want to celebrate with. Take your time. But also celebrate the harvests that you have experienced and make space for the harvests that are coming. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna put glue on it since it's mine. Yeah. So if you got, if you've been missing the toe this whole year, you can put it back together. Okay? Perfect. Thank you, card 1. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. I've done hella readings today. We're going to card number 2. Oh, we got the sun though. That's in reverse. What's happening? 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Machetes. Got it. So we have Way. Which is a sun card. I'm gonna find it though because it has a different name. A young Taino boy riding in a canoa in the Rio Tanama in Utuado, Puerto Rico. It displays the Taino petroglyph Sol de Lluvia, which represents the sun. Innocence of childhood. It is a moment to push the fake away and be naturally yourself. Alright. So, we have the 7 of Earth, which I always love this card. The 7 of Earth is being patient for your ships to sail in, right? For your new beginnings to come in. Maybe you've been working. Maybe you've been focused. Maybe keep your head down, eye on the prize kind of thing. And seeing the different levels of growth that each little plant has, but they're still growing. Even the little girls, they're all different ages. They're all growing at their own pace. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. It may not be at the speed that you desire, but you can't rush divine timing. But what you can do is continue to align yourself, continue to know, believe, acknowledge the growth, and know this little plant turns into a tree. Time will pass anyway, right? And so why not celebrate, be excited with what you have seen so far from your fruits of your labor, be it a split seed that is rooting, right? Or a little branch, and continue to pour into it and for it to eventually take care of you. 9 of Machetes, keep moving forward. 9 of Machetes is, I think he's one of the fast ones. Let me read for you because my brain. Ooh, Welcome disruptive change. Creativity, wealth of ideas, intelligent mastery. There can be no change that doesn't upset someone. So be it. Challenge everything you don't like about your life. There's so much love available to you if you let it in. Start by forgiving yourself. You're worth it. So, if you've been struggling, if things have been slow, if you don't feel like anything's happening, give yourself some grace. But also, allow life to pleasantly surprise you. If you're always like, woe is me, nothing, nobody wants to be all the time with someone who's mopey, right? Even Donkey was depressed all the time, and still he was a cool friend. Was he sad? He was sad. But also, you can be celebrated. But having a negative outlook on everything because this is how it's always been, it could be better. Why not? Self-compassion. Rose quartz. The energy of self-compassion, giving yourself a hug, loving energy. It's your first time on this earth in this life, right? We're not talking about other lives, whatever. You are experiencing life for the first time in this moment. Give yourself some grace. Treat yourself like a child, right? Don't be mean to little you. The world has been already. And allow the sun to rise for you. It wants to. Thank you, card 2. So we have this Labradorite skull. Ooh, flashy over here too. Yeah. Labradorite is known as the Philosopher's Stone. It is a stone for those who are usually doing magic work or have certain gifts of some kind and recognize some of it, right? And if you're not one of those folks, maybe it's time to recognize that what you know is what you know. Oh, this is... Why is it that every time I'm trying to finish, I got a complicated spell? Why? This is a combination for that ass, okay? 3 major economies. This eclipse is going to be major for you. I just don't know which way. So we have the Judgment card. Money? We have a Judgment card. Okay. Well, let's see. Complicated. Let's read. What? Time. Alright. Move this here. Alright. So, if it has anything to do with money, then what you have been wanting is coming in. The Star and the Devil is something. Let's start one at a time. So, the Judgment card is usually where... Why am I doing it correctly? Don't be sad away. Judgment is one of those cards that tends to confuse me, so yeah. Let's both go through the thing. Alright. Ooh. Oh, that's juicy. The card is about reflecting on your past and meditating on your future. Ask yourself, what are the energies around you? How can you prepare for this important moment in your life? What is the status of your soul right now? Shadow work, beyond the veil, connect with certain deities, Makatori Wayaba, Santa Muerte Hecate, or an ancestor spirit beyond the veil. This can also be a sign that you must try to go with the flow and be flexible at this point in your life or in a situation without trying to fight it. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. We can be reborn if we fall and surrender to the plan of the universe has for us. We must be humble as we experience the power of the divine. Bet. That's all I needed to read. Sometimes we feel potente, right? Which is like omnipotent almost. Too potent of self means you might be an asshole sometimes because you think you know everything, right? Or you're so set in how you expect things to go that sometimes we play God. And when we play at we're calling all of the shots in a way that is, I don't have any issues with the ego, but just for a lack of better words, grounded in it can only work this way for me. Remove the portion of magic that is possible. And sometimes when we think we know it all and it's going to work out this way and it has to work out, is when God is like, oh, let me move out the way then, since you got your degree and you know everything, right? And so being very mindful and open, heart open, like a child, to what is possible. Judgment is saying there's a death and rebirth that needs to happen, right? There is a transitionary phase that we must go into when we don't know, when spirit is working in the background, and we can co-create, but we're not necessarily the full creators of our living experience because we're still human beings. No matter how magical you are, there's still human limitations. All right, you will get what you wish for. Please ensure that it is worth your time and wellness and well-being, because you're gonna get what you want, but be careful what you ask for, is what I will say. Then we have the Six of Cups, which is having someone give you something, receiving from a benefactor, from someone who has some kind of access or excess. Make sure it doesn't have strings attached, right? See things clearly for what they are, not what you would like it to be. These are pretty damn good cards. But the devil in here means that there's a little bit of trickster energy around these things, either an obligation you weren't expecting, a disappointment around it, going after this golden thing whole time it's fool's gold. Be very mindful, or that they ask more of you than what they are giving. If we look at it completely, right, we have the star, which the star is existing in the energy of the best possible outcome. Having hope, having desire, surrendering, and being in the state of mind where things are working out for me. This combination of the star and the devil, don't be afraid to get to work around what you desire. Don't be afraid to, you know, put in a little elbow grease into what you really would like to happen with your life. You know, manifesting is great, saying it aloud is wonderful, but sometimes you do gotta get to work. Sometimes you have to do the ritual. There's power in sacrifice, but not being sacrificial. That is what it is. Have what you desire, have what you want, because you're gonna get it. Be very clear, put up the parameters, put up the boundaries, look behind the curtain, what the veil is holding. And if you don't know, before you say yes, say, I'd like to sit with this a little bit. Bring it to your altar. Get clarity. Because there's something suspicious about this. I'm actually going to read the Devil card because I've never pulled it before in this deck. But those all major arcana, so that means definitely a new beginning or a major ending or both are happening. What number is this? 10, 5. Temptation. The tempter, the adversary. Finding and accepting your dark side. Pride, procreation, vitality, indulgences. Strength to overcome your weaknesses. Facing fears, letting go of misplaced shame and guilt. So, another part of the story is release your guilt, your feelings of unworthiness, the things that people have told you, and believe that the most wonderful things in your life can happen. Right? Do not be a victim to your life because that's all that you've experienced. This also goes in with card number 2. So if what I just said resonates, go to card number 2. Shadow. The collective shadow acting against your convictions, forfeiting the sensual pleasures of life. Superficiality, love relationships that suffocate in physicality, lust for power, confused and hasty action, lack of self-knowledge, blind naivete, bad influence, materialism, temptation, egoism. There's 2 stories, the first and the second. So, there was the 9 of Pentacles here, judgment. You know what is true about yourself, but you can also make a decision to do better because you know better, to be better because you know better, to expect better because you know what shit that sucks looks like. You know what hardship looks like. What does joy, possibility look like? Just because your life has been a certain way doesn't mean that is all there is. I feel like I've said this before to some of y'all. At this point, get a reading. Y'all keep getting the same message. But what would it look like to lead with hope? To lead a life with hope, with possibility. All hell is breaking loose out in the world, but what if you imagined what if? And it's beautiful. And what can you do towards getting there? That's all I got for y'all. I will timestamp this portion. I mean, I'm timestamp the whole thing, but this eclipse, we don't get 2 new moons usually in the same month. Eclipse season started with Pisces, closing out with Virgo. These energies will last up to 3 years, to be honest, because we'll have some retrogrades and some other things that will prolong the energy from continuing. there's a lot of Virgo energy. So if your nerves are bad, your stomach is bad, get some chamomile tea, rest, journal, ginger for upset stomachs, but also do not overwork yourself, do not overextend yourself. Try to sleep, write down your dreams, okay? Say what you have to say. Try to do it diplomatically. That's all I know. But if you can't, and the truth needs to be heard, then so it is. Be in your truth. Focus on yourself, but not in a way where you're criticizing your shortcomings. Most of us, if not all of us, are winging it in life. You don't need to have it all set, how to have it all made up and put together. And celebrate the Virgo in your life. They're exhausted. They want to be celebrated and seen and acknowledged as well. Look at where Virgo is in your chart and honor it. I tell y'all often, but I also do astrology readings, and so if you have no idea what none of this is and you have your exact birth time, that's the key there. Ask your mom, ask your auntie, ask who's in the room, and I can do your astrology charts. I did hella tarot readings today, so I may run like a special for end of September, end of my season, and we'll see what happens. I'll post it on the YouTube like notes post thing, but also on the website and social medias and all of that. And if you want to tip your reader, hi, hello, that is me. I recently had a birthday. If you want to tip your reader, offer an energy exchange. I'll put all the ways to send that to me. If you want to book a reading, it's between like an hour, hour and a half. Holla at your girl. And don't manifest on the moon, but journal and envision what is possible. Some of y'all got some rituals that y'all need to do. Cleanse out, smoke out, put a simmer pot on. Clean. If you're manically cleaning, let it happen. If you're detoxing, clearing out, let it happen. This is a season for doing so. So, be easy, y'all. I will see y'all in